then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they won't know if you are what you say you are, then have no fear.
Victoria ganada, no dada. In one night, SeanOMalley's years of hard work and talent won him UFC Bantamweight Champion. But what you've seen is just the beginning of the SUGA era. Now, let's go way back to where it all began.
I grew up in Helena, Montana. Most of my memories from being a kid were in sports. I hated school, never liked school. Elementary, middle school, high school, did not really like school. I liked gym, I liked talking to chicks. Part of it was I hated getting up we had to get up at like 6 a.m. It's freezing in Montana in the winter. My parents were building a house, it's like in the woods, a mile from the lake, beautiful house. Yeah, we're at my old house where I grew up. I think we moved in, parents built it when I was 3. Then I moved out when I was, I think 19, moved to Arizona. Just grew up here, lived here my entire life. Michael's 4 years older than me. Daniel, my other younger brother, is 4 years younger than me. And then Michela's 8 years younger than me, so we're all 4 years apart. Vivid memories of me, Michael, and Daniel playing football out in the yard. We had a huge backyard. Every time we played football, I ended in a fight. Me and Daniel, me and Michael. Usually Daniel and Michael versus me. Just bullying me.
Who won?
I think I'd end up crying and telling my mom, "Mom!"
Get up, man. Get his back.
That's out. Okay, 1 minute.
Yo, this room used to feel huge.
Hold on, wait for your daddy.
Remember that little boxing video I showed you of me like kid? That was huge.
Where it all started, just a couple of kids throwing punches for fun. But for Sean, these moments planted the seed for a future in fighting.
What got me into like boxing and kickboxing was I just never felt like I got a chance to get the ball. Like put the ball in my hands. I was a wide receiver, but I could see also like I didn't love getting hit, but in my head I was a playmaker. I was a star. Give me the ball, I'll score every time. Didn't really get the ball much. I was also a pretty small kid in high school. I was like just super skinny. I didn't get good grades. That was an issue. I was a little shithead. I just kind of didn't listen sometimes. Just didn't get along with authority, whether it was a coach or teacher. I just didn't get along with people that would tell me what to do. One of my best friends at the time's dad was a boxing coach. Elias Moore was one of my friends, and his dad, Ray Moore, was a boxing coach. So I would go and run on the treadmill there. I would go hit mitts with him. It was like introduced me to boxing.
Took Sean in there. I would say 2 weeks later, he looked at me and he said, you have no idea what you got here. I've been doing this my whole entire career. I've never seen anybody with the speed and strength of Sean.
When I was 16, I had 4 boxing, 4 kickboxing fights, knocking people out, doing really good, performing, enjoyed the thrill of performing and being the center of attention, one-on-one sport. I had to be 18 to fight MMA in Montana. So once I turned 18, I remember I slept at my buddy's house, Brandon Weiss, same kid. We'd play Call of Duty a ridiculous amount of hours from like 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And we'd go to Walmart, we'd just get chocolate milk, frozen pizzas, all that shit, Hot Pockets, and we'd play Call of Duty for 12 hours straight. But I remember I stayed at his house, and he was a huge Eminem fan. We were both big Eminem fans. My first walkout song was Go to Sleep, Die, Motherfucker Die. That was my song. I remember getting to weigh-ins, again, skinny kid, 18 years old, fought this guy, Stein Anderson. It's on YouTube. He's like, I think he was like 38 years old. Looked kind of, no offense, he looked like a crackhead a little bit. That was the beauty about fighting in Montana, that people just fight. Didn't really have that much skills, could train at no gym, just train by yourself. At the crossroads, this gym I would train at, well, not a fighting gym, it was like I'd do sprints there on the treadmill, I'd lift weights there, I'd hit the bag there, I had a bag there. But I remember circling, both being orthodox, circling about 5-6 seconds in, boom, throwing a spinning back fist. I was like, that's the first punch I'm ever gonna throw in a fight. And I fucking dropped this dude. Boom, right on the chin, just a perfect spinning back fist. It was the first punch I've ever thrown on MMA, which is crazy to think about. But it was weird because I kind of manifested that at the time. I was like, picturing in my head over and over and over again, like this is what's gonna happen, this is what's gonna happen, this is what's gonna happen. So for that to happen like that, it's kind of a look into my whole career. It's just kind of, that's how I've seen my career play out. The dude was tough as fuck. He got up, he took me down, I'm pretty sure. I had zero wrestling, never wrestled a day in my life, and knew a couple of jiu-jitsu submissions-ish off my back.
We'll see if
I think it went into the second round, like head kicked him, boom, dropped him, head kicked him. I felt the glory of winning a fight in Helena, Montana, in my hometown, and I was just hooked instantly, like hooked on that.
conditioning in between the first and second round. O'Malley's still ready to go as time started to gap with it.
Out in the country past the city limit sign where there's a honky-tonk near the county line. The joint starts jumping every night when the sun goes down. They got whiskey, women, music and smoke. It's where all the cowboy folk go to boot scoot boogie.
I fought a lot. I remember one time I fought 3 times. I fought three weekends in a row. And we just, you could just do that in Montana. There was no commission. I lost twice as an amateur. And I remember I hated the feeling of losing. It drove me, I hated losing in any sports. Knew I could not go pro and make a living or get to where I wanted to get to living in Montana. I saved up $2,000. I worked at Spring Meadow Resources. It was a group home of 8 mentally disabled adults, and it was their house, and we would just go in there and help them with chores, take them. I drove the bus. I drove them to work, bumping fucking radio, had a little speaker, talking, ripping some, basically a stand-up comedian driving around, talking with them, take them into the store, help them find their groceries and stuff. But I worked there for probably about a year, something like that. I saved up $2,000. I paid off my 2006 Nissan Altima. Paid that off so I wouldn't have any bills. Saved up $2,000 and drove down to Arizona.
He packed up, left Montana, and drove his trusty Nissan Altima on a leap of faith that led to a career-changing friendship and a path to greatness.
I was downstairs in my living room, and Bellator was on. And I seen this guy, Tim Welch from Montana, and I was like, what the fuck? Montana? That's crazy. If someone was on TV, I thought they were famous no matter what. I fight in Great Falls, where Tim's from, and I'm fighting this college wrestler. It's the fight's outside. Tim's commentating. This wrestler takes me down, he's beating my ass. I roll for a nice armbar, actually pretty fucking nice armbar. I remember popping his elbow, he taps, I win. I'm on cloud 7,000. Shout out Rich Hollis. He was one of my sponsors coming up. So after the after party, Tim's like, yo, I offer this to people. Not a lot of people take it, but you're more than welcome to come down and check out the MMA lab and try it out.
I went up to him at the after party and I said, hey, I can tell you really love fighting. I have a spot on my couch if you want to come train with me for a week.
So I stayed on his couch, on his futon, uncomfortable ass futon, for 7 days. One of the worst but best experiences I've ever had. I got my ass kicked very, very badly. Every single day I went to the gym and I smoked. But I was in Phoenix for the first time ever. It was the first time I was on an airplane. Everything was so new. I remember Tim picked me up in his Mazda at Mesa Airport at night, and it was very vivid. I remember all that, and I was damn, I always felt like I was destined for greatness. I always wanted to do something other than stay in Montana and just, work a normal job. So I was like, this is how this starts. This is the beginning of what's happened so far. And I believed that at a young age. And I remember telling Tim, we're going to I'd be curious on Tim's perspective on this, but I remember telling Tim, dude, we're going to the top. It's going to be us. We're going to be the best in the world.
Yeah, you're used to being around people that don't believe in themselves a ton. So I drove an hour to pick up Sean at the Mesa Airport, and I picked him up, and I don't think he ever trained with any real professional fighters ever in his life yet. And I was at Bellator at the time, and I'm like, God, this kid has no idea how tough this is and how tough of a road this is going to be. But I knew he was going to find out. But he stuck with that the whole time knowing him, all the years I've known him. He's even made me believe in myself way more. Just to see the belief he has in himself and how confident he is, that's a hard road, but he just kept with it, day after day after day. And seeing his performances and seeing how disciplined he was with his training, I figured he's gonna go pretty far.
Like, Tim was trying to get in the UFC at the time. Like, you know, his career played out not exactly how he had seen it playing out. He obviously wanted to be in the UFC. He wanted to be world champ. But he was always such a good coach. So to look at it now, it's kind of like it makes sense to be like, because being a high-level coach is a whole skill in itself. You know, he's an expert at what he does. Like, Tim and I play Call of Duty every single day together. Tim and I train together every single day. So to us, it's just like we're friends and training partners. And then I know he has a good mind for MMA, and I know he understands my game so well. So when we go into a fight against someone like Merab, I know that Tim's studying what he feels like he needs to study for me to be ready against Merab.
And right now, I'm not a coach of 50 different pro fighters. I'm a coach of one pro fighter. I have some amateurs underneath me, but one pro fighter right now. So a lot of my energy, a lot of my thoughts in the night or when I'm doing film study can go into that.
I mean, it is an interesting relationship there from being head coach and best friend. It's almost like a cheat code. Like, our chemistry is so the Peter fight.
When he starts coming in, flash your two and bring him up the middle. He's ducking, you can see it. Let's go, 5 minutes with the number one. Hey, you're the number one, Shug. Let's go, let's dig deep. You're in this.
Flexibility helped there. Nice knee up the middle.
Stuff like that, I think that won me the fight against Peter Yan. It's important to have someone like that in your corner, someone that you truly, truly trust, and that you feel like they genuinely want you to win.
There is coaches out there that grew up with someone, but not someone probably as close as Sean and I. We had to literally live together, make food together, go to the grocery store together, and I mean, I feel super, super lucky. I mean, to run into a kid who's that hungry, who's that athletic, who's that talented and disciplined, to stay on the course and achieve this world championship. And me and him have the same sense of humor, so we have a good time, and we're both obsessed with getting better. He helps level me up and I help level him up. He does respect how much I've studied MMA and how much I've been around it, and he knows how much I love it, and he also knows how much I care for him as a person. So he definitely trusts me being his coach, and I'll always be honest with him. Even if it's not the best news or it's gonna hurt his feelings, he can trust me that I'll be honest with him and tell him.
Elena's arrival gave Sean new purpose, shifting him from a reckless path to focusing on a future for his family.
Elena, I feel like she truly saved, I don't want to say saved my life like I was about to fucking die or go off the deep end, but I very well could have. And to have a princess at such a young age, I was 26 years old when I had a baby, and I've always wanted to have kids. I've always wanted to have kids since I was in middle school. I broke up with a girl in middle school because she said she never wanted to have kids. Like, I wanted kids. Elena was a complete accident. Like, it wasn't planned by any means. But I've always felt like my career's been guided through a higher power. Call it God, call it energy, call it whatever you want. So they're like, you know what, Suga, you were starting. This is like the first time I made 6 figures. I was like, damn, I'm balling. They're like, here, let's put a baby in your life to keep you grounded. Whoa, you're pulling my pants down. That's not funny. No. Oh, you think that's funny? Hey! 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 Oh, she's a baby. Oh, you're just a baby. Oh, you're such a cute baby.
Daddy.
What?
Let me hear this one.
I know. Let's go stand in the sun because that needs to get a little tan. And has allowed me to stay focused and disciplined on what my why is. My why. They always say, what's your why? Like, I want to be the greatest of all time, and I don't think I could have done that without Elena grounding me and staying disciplined, staying humble, and staying in the gym, doing what I need to do to become what I want to become. So yeah, Elena's completely changed my life. She's growing fast, which just trips me the fuck out. But yeah, she's completely change. I mean, kids change your life for the better. I've been lucky to be in the position I'm in to be able to have a princess.
Let's see how each fight shaped his rise to the top.
Alfred Kashakian, I got this fight after I knocked out David Nuzzo through a head kick, due to a spinning wheel kick, knocked out David Nuzzo, went viral, got on the Contender Series, Season 1, Episode 2. They said, hey, Snoop Dogg and Uriah Faber are commentating. This is a big deal. One of the worst training camps I've ever had in my life. Had a bad concussion going into that fight. I was eating a vegan diet. I weighed in at 136, and that night of the fight, I was 138 pounds. It was horrible. Couldn't rehydrate, didn't eat great, hadn't met Dan Garner, hadn't met Brandon Harris. When we talk about I have a higher power stuff that helped me along this career, I don't think I should have won that fight then. And somehow, I knocked Alfred out and went viral, and Snoop Dogg went crazy.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
I got me some Seagram's gin. Everybody got their cups, but they ain't chipped in.
Three-piece dinner with biscuits.
Give
that kid a contract!
It really set a tone for how my career was going to play out.
Hey, welcome to the SUGA Show.
So I was kind of expected to go out there and knock out Terrion Ware, which I thought I was going to 100% knock him out. Ended up being a very difficult fight, and I got to show my heart, and I grew a lot from that fight because it really reminded me how tiring fighting is and how hard I need to work on my cardio.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing. I'm a monster, I'm a killer. I know I'm wrong, yeah. I'm a problem that'll never ever be solved. And no matter what, you'll never take that from me.
Fast forward 3 months, Andre's soccer mom, first fight on a pay-per-view. I break my foot. I have a Liz Frank fracture in the top of my foot, and had a major surgery on that. People have had that surgery and not came back the same ever. And that was 2018, so that was very, very stressful.
I'm a monster, I'm a maven. I know this world is changing. Never gave in, never gave up. I'm the only thing I'm afraid of. No matter what, you'll never take that from me.
SUGA Show. I love everything about this sport. I love you, Joe Rogan.
Well, I love you too, buddy. Listen, man, what you did tonight was really fun. You're an incredibly promising young prospect. I hope your foot heals up as quick as possible, and I really, really enjoyed your fight tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank everyone that came out to watch. Welcome to the SUGA Show, everybody. SUGA SeanOMalley, ladies and gentlemen.
Fast forward 2 years, March 7th, almost 2 years exactly to the date I fight Jose Quinones. The SUGA Show is back. Met Brandon Harris, started a strength and conditioning program, braided my hair. The SUGA Show 2.0 is what I called it. Knockout
I bet
Jose
on myself.
Quinones in the first round.
I can't expect them to check up on me, gotta check on myself. I got my money on me, watch me win in the end. And after that, I'ma keep going and winning again and again.
Fast forward from March to June 2020, I fight Eddie Wineland. This is a big test for me. This is the debut of the colorful hair, the rainbow hair, the braids, the afro. The SUGA Show is in full effect. The SUGA Show is in color. I knock Eddie Wineland out in one of the most vicious walk-offs of all time, in my opinion.
Gamble, keep the financials, this is substantial. Skeptics in shambles, y'all got it wrong, y'all opinions today. Get the t-shirt and candles out. Oh, that's your girl, why she fanning out? Walking, I bring all the cameras out. This isn't luck, no, I planned this out. Yeah, yeah. I got my money on me, I bet on myself.
This is the big moment. This is the co-main event on UFC 252. Cheeto, a tough fight. I called for it. I wanted that fight. It was a good matchup for me, and he was just coming off some big fights. A loss to Song Yadong, but I thought he had won that fight. So I have my first supposed loss in the UFC against Cheeto, round 1. He kicks my perennial nerve on the right side of my leg. My foot gets drop foot. I drop foot, and he lands a couple elbows. Ref stops the fight. Pisses me off. I get my undefeated merch, sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of undefeated merch, start calling myself the undefeated champ, start saying I'm undefeated. People have lost their mind. You're not undefeated, you fucking lost. I'm like, no, I didn't. And they're like, how are you so stupid? And I'm like, I don't think I am. But I come back March 2021 against Thomas Almeida, a very, very good kickboxer, and I put on an absolute striking clinic. I knocked him out 3 times and put myself back on the map.
Say you my nigga, I'ma be your killer, nobody gonna play with you.
Fight Luis Smolka after that, 10 days notice, or 14 days, whatever it was. He pulls out with a staph infection. Chris Moutinho takes his spot. Green-haired kid coming on, UFC debut, has nothing to lose. And he's fighting the SUGA Show on a Conor McGregor-Poirier fight card. Put on an absolute masterful clinic on him for 3 rounds, break records. My hands legitimately hurt for like 2 months from his dumb fucking head. Nice kid, but July 10th, so it was fight week 2021. July, August, September, October, November, December. 5 months later, I fight Raulian Paiva. Raulian was coming off a big win, and I put his lights out in round 1. Beautiful combination.
Remember when we were jacking cars? Now you better keep your distance, cause it's not safe for you. You switch like a pussy little bit.
Anyway, 6 months later, I fight Pedro Munoz. Punch him in the eye so hard he thought I poked him. The judges were so confused on what was going on. They're like, let's just call it no contest. So that one called no contest. I call it a win. Supposedly I lost the first round. Dude didn't hit me in the head 1 time. So I count that as a win. A lot of people are mad about that. Speaking of mad about that, Peter Yan, I take this fight October 22nd, 2022 in Abu Dhabi. So I'm coming off in July, I fight Pedro, and I'm like, I need to get this out of my mouth. Who's next? Who is the next guy I can fight? Peter Yan was the only guy in the division. He was ranked number 1. I was ranked number 11 at the time that did not have a fight. Legit, the only guy. Everyone else had fights or was injured. UFC, I said, give me that fight, please. They're like, I don't know. It's Peter Yan. I'm like, I know. This is how superstars are made. Give me that fight. And so they offered Peter that fight. He took that fight. I go out there and win a very, very close fight. You know, a lot of people had Peter winning that fight. The only 3 people that mattered that night were those 3 judges, and 2 of them had to, decide that it was me. Win a close fight against Peter Yan. I get the Aljamain Sterling fight August 19th, 2023. That date is just embedded in my mind. One of the most legendary moments of my life. Was one of the most magical moments of a lot of people's life. If you were in Boston that night in the arena, even if you were probably out of the arena, you probably felt something. You could have been laying in bed, didn't even know it was fighting. You probably had a tingle in your butt. You're like, whoa, what happened? The SUGA Show knocked out Aljamain Sterling and became UFC champion. This year, a few months ago, guess who? Cheeto Vera 2. Revenge my loss. He won that same night in Boston. He beat Pedro Munoz, who I supposedly poked in the eye. Me versus Cheeto set where? Miami. No better place. Miami. Headlining the card. And it was a great card. It was a great night. Went out there and I really thought I was going to be able to knock him out and wasn't able to. But 5-5. Absolutely dominated. Beautiful performance. Went out there and did what I do and just put on a clinic.
2-1-2. Wanna believe my own hype, but it's too untrue. The world brought me to my knees. What have you brung you? Did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Where your name in on the guest list? Who brung you? You. The more
Sean's path is one that will remain unforgettable. The ultimate question is, will he achieve his goal of becoming the greatest to ever do it? One thing is for sure, his story is unfolding right before our very eyes, and the best is yet to come.
you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they won't
This fight for Sean's legacy, I mean, is so important. This is the first striker versus real grappler who just presses forward, who's been 5 rounds with good people, who's beat some of the best people in the world. And this is, if you look on paper, this is the type of fight that would be Sean's kryptonite.
The wrestler versus the striker. The grappler versus the sniper. And I get to go out there and do what I do. And it's the same exact game plan as it was against Aljamain Sterling. Don't let him touch me. Don't let him get a hold of me. Don't let him grab my leg. Don't let him get a body lock. Don't let him grab my toe. I don't even want him to be able to poke me. I don't want that guy anywhere near me. I'm going to keep him at the end of my punches. If he wants to shoot, he's going to run and do a knee. If he wants to shoot, he might run and do an uppercut. Might run and do a teep to the lips. So keeping this dude off me for 25 minutes and landing absolute dynamite shots to his chin is the game plan. No secret there. Do I believe I will knock him out? I do believe I will knock him out. I don't think he's going to be able to take the shots that Cheeto took, and I don't think he's gonna have the patience and the IQ to beat me. I think I know I beat MerabDvalishvili September 14th and become 20-0.